I want to put up, because here we like to be great at everything we do. We want to be elite at everything that we do. Um, I want to put up something, a graphic that we put together here, and I want to see if we agree on this graphic as a collective here. Like as a collective, do we agree with this? And then this is going to kind of correlate to what we look at the end of the show when we start talking about um if you agree with the rankings per se of in that article when we look at that. So here's the graphic, man. We tiered these quarterback situations a little bit uh here in the SEC. This is what we did. We have this SEC uh quarterback situation tier chart. All right. And when you look at this tier chart, it has it tiered in four categories. You have what you have as locked in returning starters. You have guys that are transfer guys, but more than likely will be the plug and play guys that will start. Then you have the area where you have guys that are breaking teams that are breaking in new starters. Even though if some of those starters were on the team last year. And then of course you have the teams where you're starting over. You know, nobody on their roster has major college football playing experience. So they are in somewhat of a situation of starting over. Is what you're looking at. When you look over here in the locked in category, let's go through this list real quick and let's see if we can agree with these teams. You start off with Georgia, Gunner Stockton. Do you agree that they are locked in?
Yep.
Okay.
Definitely a lot.
You move to Texas. When you look at
Definitely a
Texas,
lot.
do you agree that they are locked in with Arch Manning as a starter?
Definitely a lot.
Do you think so? Because you've seen a lot of KJ Lacey this offseason throwing the
That's
football to
because
a lot of
that's
these
because Arch
quarterbacks.
had surgery, bro. Let's keep it honest.
But I get it. I understand it. But
Because Arch
he's
had
looked really
surgery.
good. He's looked really good
He
throwing the
has,
football.
he has, but you also see a lot of Arch and Cam together. So that lets me know where Texas' head is when it comes to that starting situation. By the fall, you're gonna see Manning in the backfield.
Okay. All right. I'm not disagreeing with you, but I'm just saying what we've seen so far. You look at Ole Miss, Trinidad Chambliss has the injunction with the court system in Mississippi, even though the NCAA is trying to get in there some kind of way and get that injunction out. Do you agree that that is a lock? That's locked in?
And to that court situation, Claire, I don't know.
So basically we're saying with Ole Miss is locked in as long as that
Yeah,
injunction in the
yeah,
court
yeah,
say it's
yeah.
good.
If the court give him a pass, I don't see why not.
Okay. South
Like,
Carolina, Lenore Sellers. Is that a lock?
of course,
Okay. Marcel Reed, Texas A&M. Is that a
of
lock?
course, of course,
John Materia, Oklahoma. Is that a lock?
of course.
Okay. Byrum Brown at Auburn. Is Byrum Brown a lock at Auburn?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't know
Okay.
what you want me to say about that one, boss.
Okay. I'm just asking. I have to ask the question. I have to ask it because here we want to be as objective as we possibly
I
can
don't think.
be
I
here.
think like you said it a long time ago when you were talking about Dion. Golesh brought his Louis V with him.
He did. He did.
He brought
He
his
did.
Louis V with him.
He bought
He
his
said
luggage and his Louis. That's what he did.
if I
All right. Now
want the
let's
best chance, I want to bring my quarterback. So he
All
gets
right, so let's look at the blue area here. Transfer, but guys that potentially are plug-in guys that we feel are the clear front runners to start. LSU, Sam Levitt. Do we feel like Sam Levitt has the front edge as the starter for LSU?
if he's healthy, yes.
Okay. Kenny Minchie, transfer from Notre Dame. At Kentucky with Will Stein, new system, new regime there in Lexington. Do we feel as Kenny Minchie is the guy that's going to be there? Not now. Now I will say this: they did bring in
That's a shaky quarterback situation right there.
they did bring
That,
in another
that's,
quarterback in Jaquay Long.
that's what
Jaquay
I'm
Long.
saying. Like that.
So
I don't. I that situation would depend on his performance. I don't think that's a lot out of all the ones that we
interesting. Okay.
through so far. That one right there is a very shaky quarterback situation. Just because he didn't have a lot of playing time in Notre Dame. He showed flares. They're very hype on him. He has potential, but I don't, with potential, once you start losing, they'll put a plug on potential real quick.
But here's the thing, though: neither one of those quarterbacks at Kentucky have a lot of playing experience.
I know, I
Both highly
understand,
rated guys, though, but they
but
don't have a lot of playing experience.
that's the reason why you would put both of them on the field to see what they got.
So are we saying that we should move Kentucky down into the red area with those two teams when we get to them? Should Kentucky be in that red area with Tennessee and Vanderbilt?
I think they're going. We speaking on who they're going to try to go with in the beginning of the fall, or we just speaking on spring. I think they're going to try to go with the dude from Notre Dame. I think he's going to get a lot of the playing time right off, but I don't think he finished the season as a starting quarterback.
Okay, all right, let's move on. Missouri, Austin Simmons.
Yes, I think he had a lot.
Okay, now here's the one where we've had questions, we've had conversations about this one. Florida with Aaron Philo, and at Florida. Now here's the now we have him in. Is a lot of people are saying that because Aaron Philo followed Buster Faulkner to Florida as the quarterback with his coach. A lot of people are saying because he's followed him there, that he is the shoe-in to be the guy. But there is a guy in Tramel Jones Jr., and I'm going to put up that comparison there. Here it is. It's Tramel Jones Jr. and Aaron Philo, two guys that are battling with each other for potentially being the starting quarterback. So is Philo the sure-in guy that we're saying that could be the guy to come in and start at Florida this year? Would you give him the inside track?
Another situation where it can start off with Philo and end with Jones, because Summerall was a very high anticipated hiring candidate. That means if Florida starts tanking with Philo, he will have to make the move to Jones just to see what Jones has to offer, because they're so close knit. So another situation where it can start out with Philo and end with Jones.
Okay.
I think they're in the same situation with Kentucky. You're very uncertain.
Okay. Well, let's get back over here to this graphic here. All right. So that's the end with the transfer plug-in tier. All right. Let's get to the breaking in new starter tier. All right. So I put Alabama here because I think Alabama has two talented guys in that room, but I don't know which way they go.
Yeah.
You have Austin Mack there, who came in with Kalen DeBoer from Washington, transfer from Washington. Of course, you have Keelan Russell there. All right, we're gonna hold that conversation because we're gonna talk a little bit more about them in the next segment. So that's what we're breaking in there. So let's get to Mississippi State. Mississippi State, Kamario Taylor. Is Kamario Taylor the guy in Starkville underneath Jeff Lebby? 4-star guy from Mississippi. They did bring in Jaden Rashada, but I don't think Jaden Rashada is threatening for the starting job. I do think Kamario Taylor is the guy that is going to get the inside track to be the starting quarterback. I think he's a true dual threat guy that I think is going to have it's going to surprise a lot of people this year. I look at this. Okay, now here we go. Arkansas has a very interesting situation at quarterback as well. KJ Jackson, who was on the team last year.
Yep. Showed good promise.
Yeah, he was on the team last year. KJ Jackson, who was on the team last year. He was part of that regime with Sam Pittman, but he's still on the team now with Ryan Silverfield. But here is the caveat. The caveat to this: AJ Hill is now in that room. He transferred from Memphis to Arkansas, where Ryan Silverfield was the head coach last year. Are we looking at a dilemma in the quarterback room there? I think we potentially could be. All right, let's drop down to this final tier. We're going to talk about Tennessee in a minute and when we get to them. But let's talk about Vanderbilt. I think Vanderbilt has the worst, and I don't care if anybody want to debate this with me. I think Vanderbilt has the worst quarterback situation in the conference. Because you are there. They did not go out in the transfer portal and get anybody.
They
in the
going with a
transfer
true
portal.
freshman. They
He's a 5-star. Don't get it twisted. They got a 5-star that was committed to Georgia. They flipped him from Georgia. He's a 5-star, but he has no college football playing experience. But we'll see, man. We'll see what it is. We'll talk about it.
Hey,
we'll see what it
man,
is.
you know, if you trust in your coaching ability, man, this is, and he already there right now working.
Yeah, of course he had. Yeah, why wouldn't he be?
You know what I'm saying? He right now working, you know, putting in that work. So, man, hey, you know, no sky's the limit, man.
Okay, all right. So, I mean, that's what the tiers look like. Tell us in the chat what you think about that. What you think about those tiers, man? Tell us if you think anybody should fall down a little bit. Tell us what you think if anybody should excuse me. If anybody should move up. What are your thoughts on these quarterback situations there?